something strange in your neighborhood.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to ShowBitch's Nether regions, where we go shoulder deep, groping around the dark vaults for you, seeking those hidden gems that you might have missed among the repeats and the tripe because of poor promotion, or who knows, maybe because of all the politics and because of all the war and fighting and aggression, you've just been too depressed to actually sit down and watch something good. Well, I'm here to help you sort that out by covering shows that will help cheer you up, especially today's little gem. It's something that I've had the craving to watch for quite a while now, especially with the news, and I've actually bothered to sit down and watch it. I've not fully completed the full 40 episodes yet, but I will get there. Yep, I'm jumping on the bandwagon. I am tackling Ghostbusters. Unfortunately, Slimer could not be here today because he's busy in the kitchen eating crap. Yep, he's completely eating us as a house and home again. But he has popped up here and he's left a little bit of gloop. Bloody typical, isn't it, of him, little bastard. But I do have a special co-host today, Blinky from Pac-Man. Yep, Blinky's here to help me along and correct me if he thinks I've gone wrong with any of the details today, because being a ghost, who knows better? Of course. Anyway, I am your host today, ShowBitch, and we are covering not Ghostbusters per se, but extreme Ghostbusters. Yeah, that classic spin-off from the spin-off from the spin-off. But it's brilliant. I haven't laughed so heartily at a classic TV show in quite a long time, and of all the stuff I've watched lately, it's funnier than Paul Feig, although Paul Feig is quite funny to look at, and his doppelganger has recently got sacked from the UK government. Michael Gove, have fun in the dole queue. Anyway, what is Extreme Ghostbusters about? Well, Extreme Ghostbusters is pretty much the next generation. After real Ghostbusters, they've got a bit old and tired, and they've hung up their proton packs, and of course Egon is teaching physics at a local university in New York. It seems in the first episode that his lessons don't really have that much of a turnout. The turnout this year was, well, in the year this first aired, was only about 5 people. One of which is an old co-worker of his, the very, very delightful Janine Melnitz. Yep, the receptionist. She's one of the people going along to his particular lesson. But that is because we all know she secretly, well, not so secretly, but she loves him. And she wants him to do well in things. As it turns out, he's still living in the old firehouse, which kind of makes things a little bit easier for the setup, doesn't it? Anyway, the 4 other members of the team, well, the 4 members that become the team are actually students within this physics class. And yeah, they take on the mantle of the mental really, really, really well. What makes it special though? Well, not only do you get the introduction of a Latin American to the team, which helps to encompass the true heart of New York, really, because New York is one of those cities that is quite diverse in its cultures and its people. You've not just got the Brooklynites, but you've got the Latin Americans in there and many, many other people. And they bring along a Latin American into this episode rather well. Of course, You've got one thing that, yeah, I'm going to stop, I'm going to backtrack a little bit here. The new Ghostbusters movie, who cares if it's a female cast? So you've got a female cast. People don't give a crap about that, so stop writing reviews, stop, like the one in the Metro the other day, stop posting online going, oh, you're all misogynistic because of females in it. No, we're used to it because of Extreme Ghostbusters. In Extreme Ghostbusters, they had a female Ghostbuster. Yes, Kylie Griffin, she's one of the best Ghostbusters if you ask me. She's smart, she's obviously beautiful, and she can hold her own. And she doesn't need to kick a ghost in the balls. She doesn't need to make sexist comments all the time. She does brilliantly as a valued member of the team. So moving away from the sexist bull crap, we're going to focus on another thing that makes it special. Of course, new generation, new equipment. Yes, they've each got their own variation of the proton pack. Some two handheld big things, you got the smaller ones, and of course Kylie has her little pea shooter blaster thingy. Does exactly the same thing as the others, but it makes it more interesting, more diverse, even with the equipment. The old box catcher thing for the ghosts is actually replaced with a nice dome creation with a three-way opening that does just as good a job as the old one, and with a bit less smoke as well, which surely is going to be beneficial to the team without all that potential toxic smoke going into the lungs. Anyway, who stars in it and who do they play? Well, of course, as the role of Egon Spengler, you have Maurice LaMarche. He's, as with the majority of the rest of the cast, he is a voice actor. And before doing this particular episode here, I thought, just voice actors, they'll have a bit of a job here, a bit of a job there. But no, surprisingly, all of these are really quite well renowned in their field. They've done loads of work, tons of work. And Maurice LaMarche is no exception. He was Doctor Doom in Ultimate Spider-Man, among many, many, many other things as well. As Egon Spengler, he's an interesting one. He feels like he's getting old, but he's only in his 30s actually, as it says in one of the episodes. And he, of course, takes the kids under their wing, under his wing even, and teaches them in the way of ghost busting, which for Kylie is brilliant, because she does have an affinity with the paranormal and supernatural and ghosts, because she's a goth. Yep, they've even got a goth in there, which is absolutely brilliant. Well, I think it is anyway. Egon, he's his usual smart, reclusive self, with his beloved friend Slimer by his side quite often. And of course, he's being, he's got an attempted courtship from Janine, who she does return, of course, to join the team and be receptionist once again. And she's up next. She is voiced by Pat Muzak, whom, if you've ever watched Rugrats and All Grown Up and every single other jumping spin-off of the Rugrats, he voiced Harold Frumpkin. And Janine, she's a wonderful character. She's loving, she's attentive, she's the mother role. She makes sure everyone's fed, she looks after everybody, as well as, of course, taking phone calls and occasionally shouting at Slimer. Next up, we have Tara Strong. Tara Strong, wow, I was amazed, I was flabbergasted when I read her bio and what she'd done before. She is Harley Quinn. No ifs, no buts. She's done countless roles playing Harley Quinn. Of course, along the way voicing other characters such as Raven in Teen Titans and Teen Titans Go. But she's done countless Harley Quinn things. And what makes it even more spectacular, in my opinion, if you've ever watched Arrow, which, if you're anything like me, you have done, you know that Suicide Squad episode where you just see the back of a woman and you hear the squeaky voice that's blatantly, obviously Harley Quinn? That is her voice. She plays Harley Quinn even in Arrow, which is absolutely amazing in my opinion. And in this, in Extreme Ghostbusters, as Kylie Griffin, the gothic outsider with a pet cat called Pagan, she's amazing. Her voice is obviously a little deeper, and but she's got more of a Brooklynite accent there. She's got a very strong Brooklyn accent. She's a passionate character. She doesn't laugh unless absolutely forced to, and she loves what she does. She gets on well with most of the team, including Eduardo. There's that kind of will they, won't they thing going on with her and Eduardo. But as the main role of Kylie, she's absolutely brilliant. She's strong, she's dominant, she's confident, she's got some great ideas, she's amazing, and she looks up so much to Egon because of her own past history, which does actually involve ghosts and demons. But not because of the goth thing, because of general family life encounters. And they do go into her backstory a little bit, and it's really quite a fascinating story there. It truly is. And as I said before, she is my favourite character. Next up though, we have Garrett Miller. Garrett Miller is the wheelchair-bound member of the team. Yep, even Ghostbusters can be in wheelchairs. He's been in a wheelchair since birth and wants to become essentially a personal trainer. And he really does think outside the box. There was an episode where they couldn't get into the firehouse, so he rolls up full speed, flips round mid-air and crashes in backwards, opening up the firehouse. So he thinks outside the box, and he's smart, he's funny, he's intelligent, and you've got that bro banter between him and Eduardo, which adds that family type element to it. It creates such a feeling of a family bond that the Ghostbusters, well, the Extreme Ghostbusters, work together for ages. Of course, Garrett wants to be more in the limelight and spotlight and promote the Ghostbusters as much as he can. And he's even got little business cards that say Extreme Ghostbusters on. And he's brilliant. He rolls into action, pun intended, and kicks ass. He's just brilliant. He's a fantastic guy. Next up, we have Roland Jackson. Oh, hang on. Backtracking to Garrett Miller. He was played by James Marsden, who was Barry Allen. Sorry, not Barry Allen, Bart Allen. Kid Flash in Young Justice. If you like your comic book shows, Young Justice is a cartoon based upon the younger generation of superheroes. wanting to be part of the Justice League and all interacting and working together to solve crime as their adult counterparts do in the Justice League. And he does brilliant in that too. Next up, Roland Jackson. Roland Jackson is the he's the tech guy. He is. He comes in and he can fix cars, he can fix the proton packs, he can make gadgets, and he knows his stuff. Like Egon, he's kind of a bit of an outsider and quiet, bit of a loner, but he still gets fully involved with the team, including the banter, and is a valued member of the team, played by none other than Carlton Banks. Yes, Carlton Banks from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air went on to become a Ghostbuster. And not just any Ghostbuster, an extreme Ghostbuster. Of course, Carlton was played by Alfonso Ribeiro, who is a brilliant actor and not so good a dancer, if you remember the old days. But as Roland, he's a brilliant member of the team and a genius. He's a certified genius, blatantly, clearly. Next up, we have Rino Romano, who has played Peter Parker in Spider-Man Unlimited and Bruce Wayne and the Batman in The Batman. I say The Batman like that because you've got your Batman the Animated Series and then you've got The Batman Animated Series. And he was in The Batman as the Batman and Bruce Wayne. In the Extreme Ghostbusters, he is Eduardo Rivera. He's the Latin American. He thought he could go on to the psych course with Egon at the mantle for an easy A, but no easy A for him. He comes from a family of cops, the Rivera family. His dad was a cop, his brother Carl is a cop, but he doesn't want to be a cop. He wants to go more into science, and he's proud to proclaim every chance he gets that he is a scientist. He's kind of the comic relief of the team, and of course is not so secretly in love with Kylie Griffin. Eduardo, his banter with all the team, especially Garrett, is superb. It's remarkable, and it's brilliant just seeing him in action, especially with Slimer. Slimer absolutely adores Garrett, absolutely adores Eduardo, and has taken such a shine to him that Eduardo can't help but throw him across the room quite often, leaving a mess somewhat like that falling about everywhere. Yeah. And of course, as we've mentioned Slimer a fair bit, he is in this, and he's voiced by Billy West, who he was in Futurama as Billy West, as Fry, as Farnsworth, and as Zoidberg. Yep. That's my crappy Zoidberg impression. Within Extreme Ghostbusters, Slimer he's kind of the pet, he's kind of a family member, he's the one that gets underfoot all the time and eats what he shouldn't do, and after watching some episodes, you get kind of set back and you start to understand his whines. Sometimes they do purposely phrase it so that you can make out certain syllables and certain words, but the more you watch it, the more you see him communicating with Janine and with Egon, you get to actually understand Slimer, and it's fascinating, it truly is. such a crazy character that has no 100% logical speech pattern, but you start to understand him and you start to grow an affection for him. When he hits the wall, and you feel sympathy for him. You feel sympathy for the little guy, and whilst he's described as being kind of like a dog, you kind of think he's almost like a cat as well, because of the rubbing up against people. It's more of a cat kind of thing. But I've still no idea what kind of ghost he is. He's got to be some kind of demon, surely. Because he's not the ghost of a person. I don't actually know what Slimer is, but he's lovable anyway, and he's part of the family and a member of the team. And in one episode, he actually sacrifices himself for the team. How? Well, you'll just have to watch to find out. The show was created by Jeff Klein and Richard Reynis, whom they've done loads of stuff together. One of which was Men in Black the series, another show that I quite enjoyed. And of course it's based upon Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis's original creations. And IMDb don't have verification on it, but Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis may have in fact written Ghostbusters. Well, Extreme Ghostbusters even. We know they wrote Ghostbusters because they're that genius at comedy. It was, of course, set in New York in 1997, the year it was released. And it was aired over here on CITV. Stateside it was aired on one of the Disney channels, one of the cartoony ones. Brilliant show. It really is. And it's obviously aimed at geeks like me. Geeks that want to recapture a fleeting childhood. And it's aimed at people who want to see a female Ghostbuster done right. It's aimed at people who love cartoons, people who love Ghostbusters, and people who love the evolution of a legacy, of a creation. It is the next step. And it's a brilliant show. You should watch it to recapture your own childhood. You should watch it because you might have kids now and you want them to see what originally came before. Yeah, you're going to put on the Ghostbusters movie and Ghostbusters 2 movie with the old cast, but also focus on the fact that they're kids. You've got young kids, get them into it with the cartoons, and Extreme Ghostbusters is a great way to do that, as is Real Ghostbusters and all the other spin-offs that they did. I rekindled my passion for the Ghostbusters with Extreme Ghostbusters recently, and it's brilliant. And your kids will love it too. Watch it because it's still funny. It's actually aged very, very well, considering some shows from '97 just haven't aged well at all, and this does. Even the technology in it. Yeah, they don't have mobile phones like we do now, but the technology still works. It's still valid. If they rebooted it now, they wouldn't need to change that much with the gadgets at all, because it's aged that well. The costumes aged very, very well, and a lot of the everyday wear, the non-Ghostbuster wear, is kind of generic. It's the kind of stuff that looked good then and still looks good to this day. I'm not sure why it was cancelled. Maybe it just reached the end of its lifespan. But it kind of got swept under the carpet, making it a hidden gem. And if I hadn't have remembered watching it as a kid, I wouldn't have brought it out of the closet now to bring to you so you could watch it now. It's a brilliant show. Absolutely amazing. It's fantastic. Just watch it. And comment below. Let me know what you thought of it. Did you enjoy it? Did you rewatch it? It's brilliant. Go on. I double dog dare you to comment below and say how much you didn't enjoy it. And you won't, because you can't, because it was that good. And because it's the extreme Ghostbusters. And I would like to see a reboot of it. Not done by Paul Feig. Done by, if not the originals, by someone who respects the original work. Someone who's got the notions, the ideas, the passion that they did back then. Because that's what one thing we need to keep the Ghostbusters legacy alive. We need someone with the passion that the old people did. Sorry, I don't mean to say old people, but you know what I mean. The yesteryear's generation, they had passion, they had heart, they had soul. We still have ghost encounters today. We've got countless bloody ghost programs where they're going hunting ghosts. And why not bring these back? Why not? It could be animated, it could be live action. Go on. Any directors out there? Any scriptwriters? I challenge you. I set this challenge right here, right now. Reboot Extreme Ghostbusters. For the fans. If you're a fan yourself, do it for yourself. Prove that a good Ghostbusters can be done. Even now, in this day and age. Please. For yourself, for me, for everybody out there that remembers the good old days. Do it. Anyway, time to bring it to a close. So, bringing it to the end, we've got Extreme Ghostbusters that I've been talking about. Brilliant cartoon. It was 40 episodes long, which is roughly about a season worth of cartoons, 20 minutes long. And I would like to thank my co-host here, Blinky. He's done an excellent job. He did think about I could see in the back of his head that he was thinking about chiming in a couple of times, but he's not very good at his English, so I'm glad he didn't. Thank you for joining us in today. Thank you very much, Blinky. Remember, every time Pac-Man eats that pill, run, hide. You can do it. I know you can outrun him. I know you can. Anyway, go to stofflpresents.wix.com/home for yet more, more shows like this. All my previous shows up there. We've even got shows from Badger and Brenner. They will probably at some point be doing specifically Ghostbusters orientated one for the new movie. Don't know when that's out as yet for when they're doing their show. I know they have ranted a fair bit about it on their other shows like Excelsior. Don't forget, you can get in contact with us via Facebook and Twitter, which you can all find at the website. You've also got our Patreon there, which if you go onto there, you can donate. Even if it's just £1, it'd be muchly appreciated. And it'll enable us to make better sets with better quality videos for you, the viewer. Because you do deserve it. And any donation would be muchly appreciated. And I shall thank you now for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. Remember to comment below what you thought of this episode, what you thought of Extreme Ghostbusters, and if you think we should cover a particular show, something from your childhood. Let me know. Something that's a hidden gem that should be brought into the public eye a bit more. Let us know. Thank you very much for listening. Safe travels where you are. Keep watching the skies.